All right, Theo, I know you didn't ask for this, but I'm a baseball guy, California, Bay Area, transplant to the East Coast, and this is what happened to us last night, a bunch of snow. So it gets me thinking about baseball in better weather. So here's what I got for your playoff scenario: a three-team simultaneous double elimination round robin. So it would work like you'd have a second half champs would be the one seed. In this case, I'll use the Stompers as a placeholder. The first half champs, let's call them the Pacifics, the two seed, and then whatever the best overall record remaining that hasn't already gotten a playoff spot will be the three seed. In this case, it's the Admirals. If the first and second half champs are the same team, then you just take the top two remaining records as the 2 and the 3 seed. So then what we do is we do 21 straight innings of baseball where you have 3 games going on simultaneously. So you have the 3 and the 2 seed playing. That's the yellow game. Admirals versus Pacifics, with Pacifics being the home team. You have the red game, the Pacifics versus the Stompers. The Stompers being the 1 seed, they get to be home both times here because they'll be also the home team in the blue game, Admirals versus Stompers. So in the very first inning, the Admirals will bat, the Pacifics will pitch. Then in the bottom half of the first, Pacifics get to hit, Admirals will pitch. And a score is recorded. That score will stick with those two teams throughout all the yellow games only. So any runs the Pacific score against the Admirals have no bearing on the runs that they would have to score to beat the Stompers. So that yellow game's going on. And the Pacifics in this case would actually be hitting in the home half of the first, and then they would also be hitting in the visiting half of the second in what is actually starting a brand new game against the Stompers. And so then you just continue. Every 3 innings, each team would play 2 times. So it just goes from here. One thing that I factored in here is no team is actually pitching in back-to-back innings. So the Pacifics are the only team that would be coming from home to visitor. The Admirals are always visitor, and the Stompers are always home. So this way, you don't. If you did have a pitcher that was going to say pitch for the Pacifics and they were going to pitch in both games, they wouldn't have to be pitching 1 inning against the Admirals and then immediately pitching 1 inning against the Stompers. So you just cycle it through. Every 3 innings, it rotates, it rotates, it rotates. You go all the way down, 21 innings of pure mayhem. And at the end of that 21st inning, you'll have completed 3 games. This would be quicker than playing kind of a standard doubleheader or in this case triple header, because you don't have breaks between the innings. You're basically just cycling guys in and out as one continuous game, but you're getting 3 games in it. Each game has a unique box score and lineup. So any substitutions made in the yellow game does not dictate what substitutions can or can't be made in the red game per se. So you can burn a guy as a substitute in the yellow game, and he can still come in or continue to play in the red game or the blue game for that matter. So there's the first day. Now after the end of those 21 innings, you have a couple different possibilities. To keep it nice and clean, you could have it where possibility A here, where one team ends up 0-2. Say the Admirals get defeated by the Pacifics and the Stompers. If the Pacifics beat the Admirals but lose to the Stompers, they'd be 1-1, and the Stompers would be 2-0. Under that circumstance, you have a clear-cut number 1 seed as the Stompers. You have a clear-cut eliminated team, that's the 0-2 Admirals, and the Pacifics would be the visitors in the championship game. Now, if it gets a little funky and they all win and they all lose, they all end the day 1-1, no team is eliminated, and so the start of the second day of the postseason would be a sudden death elimination. So the sudden death elimination, you just repeat a 3-inning series from the previous day. So it's the exact same setup, but you only play 3 innings. And at the end of that 3 innings, you combine all the runs scored for any one team. So in this particular case, let's say that the Admirals get shut out against the Pacifics, and the Pacifics score 1 run in that yellow inning. The Pacifics score 1 run, and the Stompers score 1 run each in the red inning, and the Admirals get shut out again, and the Stompers score 1 in the blue inning. That would lead to a total of 0 for the Admirals, so they become eliminated, and the Pacifics and the Stompers both move on to the championship game. And in this case, since the Stompers beat the Pacifics on day 1 in the head-to-head matchup, the Stompers are the home team. Sudden death possibility 2 would be if there's one team that stands out ahead of the other. So in possibility 1, or possibility A rather, the Admirals were behind the other two teams, so they get eliminated. In possibility B, the Stompers are ahead of the other two teams, so they instantly launch into the championship game as the 1 seed, and the 2 remaining teams that are tied just play a standard extra inning game, and they just go inning by inning until one team has a lead at the end of the inning, and they would be and that team would go on to be the visitors in the championship game. Possibility C would be if the scores are kind of staggered. So if the Admirals get shut out, but the Pacifics score 2 and the Stompers score 1, the Pacifics now become the top seed. They're the home team. The Stompers are the visitors. The Admirals are eliminated, and you don't have to play any extra inning games. And then the championship game is just a standard 9-inning game. You only have to play the 1 game because every team already has suffered a loss from the first day. Hopefully that helped clarifies it. If you wanted a clarification, I don't know. I think this would be fun. I think it would be chaotic. It would maybe get you another book written. Who knows? All right. Take care.